Hello there, guys. I'm sure you're well aware of the horrible news coming out of America recently. There is this absolute cold-hearted bitch called Lindsay Clancy who looks like a witch and is truly despicable. These feminists are very up in arms about her because she has a vagina between her legs, which means she can just get away with anything. These people operate very much on an in-group and an out-group. Now, what did this skank do? Well, she had 3 children with a man called Patrick, who was her husband, and they've since divorced, and my goodness, that was the right decision by the bloke. A lot of these skanks online were saying, oh, well, he had another girlfriend 4 months later. Let me just tell you what she did. Now, she had children with this guy, and they looked like the quintessential perfect family unit online. And again, just like what happened with Chris Watts and Shannon Watts, it just goes to show what you see online is absolute bullshit. Believe nothing of what you hear and only half of what you see, because what we see online is absolute dross and you don't know what's going on. So she had these kids, these beautiful kids, with Patrick. Apparently, she was having a little bit of mental health strife, as we all do. She sent out Patrick, the only responsible adult in the whole house. She sent him away deliberately, and she researched on her phone how long it would take his journey, how long he'd be out for, to see if she'd be able to do what she had planned. She then took these defenseless little children into the basement and, using resistance bands which she had lying around, one by one, she killed them one after the next. And whilst they're all in the same room, they're watching their siblings dying. They're seeing the person who they've spent the vast majority of their life with murder their siblings, and knowing that they are next, their last moments would have been nothing short of absolutely terrifying. These were defenseless children. She, as a nurse, she would have been well aware how to commit suicide. She cuts herself in a very superficial manner. She then goes up to the second story of her home and jumps out the window like a fucking moron. And after all of this, Patrick gets back, and it's so dark outside that he didn't even notice her disheveled and no doubt fucked up body on the ground. He rings the police upon getting home because it's eerily quiet, and they've never released this phone call, at least not yet. These dirty feminists online are trying to make it a gender war, and because he's a heterosexual white man, oh my goodness, shiver my timbers, we're the root of all evil, we've got to blame it on this guy somehow. They tried blaming it on him, oh, he's the reason why she killed all the kids. He's white. He's a straight white man. He did this, even though she admitted to this shit in court. The first thing she said when she woke up was, "I need a lawyer." If I had killed my kids in a psychotic episode, I would demand the death penalty. I'd say, don't do the paperwork, just take me out back and fucking slime me out, because I've got nothing to live for anyway. Just kill me as fast as you can. If it was a true psychotic episode, and not this bullshit that this ugly ass fucking bitch is coming up with. Whatever she can do to weasel a fucking ugly fucking big nose way out of it. So they've tried blaming it on Patrick, this poor bloke who's never going to get this shit out of his head for the rest of his life. And there was a press junket there, and there was a lady there, and she put out a tweet to these disgusting feminists online saying, if you heard that phone call, not only would you, without question, know that he had nothing to do with it, but you would never get that phone call out of your brain for the rest of your life. It was horrifying. It was dreadful. You're listening to a man realize that his children are dead, every single one, by the woman he loved, by her hand, like some Shutter Island shit. He probably wants a frontal lobotomy like Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, what the fuck is there to live for anymore? The children are dead. Um, these feminists are trying to blame it on the bloke, and I'm just shocked by this shit. When Chris Watts, in a very similar case, who is another demon, when Chris Watts killed his family, killed Shannon, his wife, and his beautiful children, men and women both wanted him to face the worst consequences. There wasn't a man alive who wanted him to get away with this shit. There was no excuse that was going to dry. He was. Everyone wanted him dead, let's be real. Nobody gave two shits about this cunt, and rightly so. But because this fuck, what's that bitch's name? I've already forgotten it. But the witch, the ugly ass witch, Lindsay Clancy, that's it. Because she's got a vagina between her legs, these dirty ass feminists are acting like, oh, she had, well, she wasn't feeling too good that day, and oh, well, she'd never killed her kids before, and she didn't get the help she needs. Oh, all right then. Well, I guess it's fine that she fucking premeditatedly murdered her kids and sent the other responsible adult away so she could murder them in a premeditated attack and in cold blood. I guess that's all right then. Maybe you'll let him. Maybe you'll let her kill the fucking child relatives in your family next, you weak bitches. Ugly ass skanks. I've never met a hot feminist in my life. They're all ugly as fuck. They're trying to blame it on this bloke or on the medical system. And if it was a man, or if she killed a dog even, like, no one would take her side. But these feminists, they don't give a shit about kids. They've been so caught up in their abortion rhetoric for so long, they're like, fuck them kids. Me personally, yeah, unless a woman's been raped or unless the baby's going to have horrible birth defects and have a shit life, I don't think abortion's ever the way. Abortion's fucked. And if these bitches are out here just having unprotected sex and just getting repeated abortions again and again and again, then I think they should do fucking hard time. But these dumbass feminists are so used to defending child killers, or what would go on to be a child and then an adult who would, that would, with every abortion, that life you're taking, that baby would go on to have children of their own, would go on to have lovers, would go on to change the world even a little bit. They would go on to have interactions and learn things and teach other people things. But because you, in your selfishness, thought, oh, well, it's not very, it's not really a convenient time for me to have children right now, they won't ever do that shit. Women who get repeated abortions due to irresponsibility should be doing fucking hard time. But these skanks online don't give a fuck. And they're so used to just killing kids that when it's no longer a fetus and instead it's three little babies that have been dragged down by the one person who's meant to protect them, along with her father, who's also meant to protect them, who's now going to be fucked for life. Like, she killed these kids, and they're so used to abortion rhetoric that they're like, you know what? What about the woman, though? What about the woman? The woman's mental health takes far greater precedent over those defenseless babies who she killed one by one. They don't give a shit about these kids, and I don't know what's gone wrong in this world where women, who are the ones who get kind of baby fever and who love kids, when women are going along and nodding their heads to children being murdered, it makes you wonder what the fuck is going on in this world, like, because this is some Sodom and Gomorrah type of shit. In the Bible, Jesus said you're better to be tied around a millstone and jump into the sea than you are to hurt those little ones, talking about children. Jesus had no time for people who hurt children. I'm not trying to be a doomsdayer saying we're living in the end times, but fuck me dead. What is going on with this? The women who are making these videos in support of Lindsay Clancy, hold your head in shame, you cunts. I saw some fat bitch online who was holding her baby saying, I know, Clancy, I relate to you. Like some weak, fat ogre fucking... maybe you've seen that video, I don't know, but... Lindsay Clancy should be treated to the harshest extent of the law. And I hope, in prison, I hope it's a lot like the male American prisons, where if you hurt kids, boy, will you be sorry. Don't put her in the little bitch wing or the little fucking disabled wing. She deserves a very, very harsh punishment. And just like Chris Watts, when they die, that's not enough. They deserve eternal damnation. Killing kids is something else. Your own children. If you can kill your own children, then what the fuck can't you do? Like, you're lost. Your soul is gone. You're soulless. You are soulless. And that's who these women are sticking up for. When Chris Watts killed his whole family, there wasn't a bloke alive worth his salts, or anybody for that matter, cheering him on. There wasn't a GoFundMe for him worth a fucking $1 million. Women, forget the gender war that is this gender war bullshit, which is a race to the bottom. Just, oh my gosh, if you're rooting for this woman because she's got a vagina, like, you are so lost. You are so lost. And you shouldn't be allowed to vote because you're brainless and you're soulless, gutless. I just can't believe this shit. I'm not surprised by people who kill their whole families, really, because human nature, sadly, there's always going to be malevolent psychos. There's always going to be the Ted Bundys and people like that out there who get up to nuts shit. But when the online consensus around a real, quite a huge segment of a specific gender is sticking up for somebody who murdered multiple of their children one by one, murdered all their kids, and then somehow finding a way to blame it on the man, it just makes me think that this world is fucked. Like, I think getting with a Western woman now, and I'm not trying to speak like one of these red pill weasels, but looking at this shit, I think, man, getting with a woman in the West is a bad idea. It is a bad idea. Really, really bad. I'm shocked by what these women are saying. Honestly shocked. What she's done is on some Jamie Bulger level of crime, and the people sticking up for her and saying, oh, you don't know what it's like to be a woman. Postpartum psychosis means it's alright to kill your kids. Hang your heads in shame. Hang your fucking heads in shame. Lindsay Clancy, I hope you get the worst punishment possible. The worst. No one feels sorry for you that has a fucking brain. I'm glad you're paralyzed. I'm glad you're fucked. I wish the worst for you.